Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hoovy186 back again with another video. And I saw a video a couple weeks ago. Um, Real Gamer 2827 made this video. He asked the question if the Wii U was the most underrated console of all time. It was just asking a question. It wasn't. I don't believe it was something that was definitive from on his part, but he asked the question. And to me, I do not feel that a console that's not good should be considered underrated. Now I know my opinion is going to be very controversial, but I feel like it's something that has to be said. Now, for one, I looked at consoles in the past, at least the ones that I've dealt with firsthand, and I consider consoles like the Dreamcast underrated. You know what I mean? Because it had a phenomenal lineup of first party, second party, and third party games, and it also I thought gave you a glimpse of what the sixth generation had to offer when it came to the PS2, Xbox and GameCube. You know what I mean? Like it was something that was ahead of its time, but obviously due to really I thought the power of the PlayStation brand at the time and Sega's own past downfalls coming back to bite them in the ass. I feel like the console, wasn't appreciated then like it is now. And I consider consoles like the GameCube underrated because it was the console that I felt was the last time I felt Nintendo really tried to do something new with their past franchises. You know what I mean? Look at Mario Sunshine, which is a very different game from the Mario games you have now and the Mario game you had before. It was a very different game. And a very controversial game. That game wasn't for everybody. You have games like Wind Waker, which was a very different art style from the games you have now and the Zelda games you had back then. Very different, very controversial. You look at obviously the console had the, from most of the Smash Brother players that I talked to had the best version of Smash Bros on there in Melee. It also had the rebirth of the Metroid Prime of the Metroid series with Metroid Prime, which at the time was up there with games like Half Life and Halo as the top tier first person shooter games. Metroid Prime was right up there in that up there in that echelon. And obviously, the other thing that I think doesn't get a lot of talk is really I felt like Nintendo. Ironically enough, I felt like Nintendo was the company that really ushered in the wireless controller age when it came to console with the Wavebird. Now, for those of you who never played it, who never used the Wavebird was phenomenal. I love that controller. Like I've tried wireless controllers on the PS2 and those were terrible. At least I think it was on PS2. Yeah, it had to have been on PS2, but that controller was terrible. The Wavebird was phenomenal. I feel like that controller really brought something new to the table. Like you look at consoles like the Xbox, which really I think brought an element of PC gaming that really hadn't been seen before in console gaming. I thought they bought a piece of that PC gaming world on the console. Now, whether or not it's good or bad, it's a different story. It's a different video. But you cannot deny the impact that Microsoft had with the Xbox, with Xbox Live and all the other stuff, and that console really brought something new to the table. You look at handhelds like the Vita, I feel is a very underrated handheld because of a lot of the stuff that it's doing that was ahead of its time. And I mean, hell, even a handheld like the Game Boy Advance, I feel is underrated. You know what I mean? Because you look at the success of the original Game Boys, and you look at the success of the DS and slash 3DS models. I feel like the Game Boy Advance was my personal favorite out of all of them. And really, I thought really with the Game Boy Advance SP, was really the first indicator of that 3DS design with the clamshell design. So even handhelds like that are in my opinion underrated because it wasn't because it probably was at too much ahead of its time, or it did something that was commendable, but just people just couldn't latch on to right away. You know what I mean? And I don't feel that way with the Wii U at all. Now, most people are gonna tout the tablet controller as that thing that's new, innovative, and something that was ahead of its time. Compared to other tablets out on the market, that tablet controller is a complete and utter dog shit compared to those other ones. Because I can take those other tablets and take them anywhere I want. I can do whatever fuck I want with those tablets. I can't do jack. I mean, in comparison, all I can do with that tablet is just play games on it. And to be honest with you, one of the biggest problems with the Wii U is that tablet controller is useless for some of the best games on it, and it's completely necessary to operate the system when it really doesn't need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't need to be. I was actually looking this up, and I mean the tablet controller in itself, I feel it was just tacked on. Is either it's just tacked on or is just unnecessary. Like, let me ask you guys this question: of all the best games on the console, on the Wii U right now, do you need a tablet controller to play Smash Brothers? No. I mean, would you want to use a tablet controller to play Smash Brothers? I mean, I personally wouldn't. You know what I mean? I mean, not me personally. Like any of the Mario games, do you think those games really do need a tablet controller? Like new Super Mario Brothers, does that need a tablet controller? Like I know one controller. I think it needs it. I don't know, for whatever reason. I don't know why, but you need it. But everyone else, that's a co-op game. I'm assuming that not obviously you can't use more than one tablet controller on the system. You know what I mean? So like it's just unnecessary. It's either not needed for your big games. Like you don't need it for Mario Kart. At least I don't think you do. And even if you did, like it's completely unnecessary. It's unnecessary because like like what purpose does the tablet use that's useful that's useful outside of looking at maps? And I mean that's not something I would do. I mean I just don't see what redeeming qualities the Wii U has that makes it underrated, that makes it ahead of its time, because it's not ahead of its time, because you can't, unlike the Dreamcast, which visually was vastly superior to the PlayStation and the N64, you cannot say the same thing about the Wii U. I understand that the components inside the Wii U are vastly superior to the PlayStation 3 and the 360, but the games, the software do not showcase this. Doesn't showcase this at all. And right now it's getting blown away visually, features wise, everything. Games, features, all that. The Wii U's getting blown away by the PS4 and Xbox One. There is no redeeming quality to this console at all. And unless you're interested in the games. And me, I think some of the games on there are good, but they're not games that they're not games that I'm clamoring to play right away. If I did, I would have already bought the system. And I did say in past videos that I was going to buy Wii U this year. I will make another video discussing that, but my mind has changed, and not in a good way. So, my overall point in this video is that I do not believe a console can be as good. Cannot. I don't believe that a console can be underrated if it's not good. Like I don't feel like the Wii U is good. I feel like everything that the Wii U does is just not, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And the title says it all. The Wii U is the failure it deserves to be, because everything about the console is inconsistent with with um with what it should have been. Is inconsistent. It is the Wii what the Wii U ended up being is inconsistent to what they touted the system of being. They said, "Oh, we're not going to be, we're not going to be left behind in power," and that's clearly what happened. We're going to support. We're going to have tons of third party support, and that obviously did not happen. The console contradicts everything that Nintendo said that the system was going to be about. and you know, it can't. It's the failure it deserves to be. So this movie 186. I'm out later.